Blinding retinal disease affects more than 10 million Americans. The Foundation Fighting Blindness is working on finding ways to prevent, treat, and cure those diseases.
The Foundation's work is funded by vision walks across the country, including right here in Fort Wayne. Rick Dahlstrom, Fort Wayne chapter president, joins us now with details. Rick, great to have you here with us.
Good morning.
Thanks for having me.
Can you tell us about your personal story?
Yeah, it was probably roughly 40 years ago I was diagnosed with a retinal disease. At the time, it was kind of misdiagnosed, but kind of worked through it, and most of the eye doctors were saying at the time, well, there's nothing we can do for you, we're just going to monitor it and just let it go. And it wasn't until actually into the 90s I actually found out I was misdiagnosed, but regardless, I went ahead and pursued a career in architecture, and that's where what I've been doing here in Fort Wayne for the last 25 years.
Very cool.
How has this played a role in your life then?
Well, it's always been in the back of my mind. For many years you could compensate, your body has the means of doing other things. Mm-hmm. But here in the last 10 years, you can't make up for things. And so in my case, night blindness is a big factor. I haven't been able to drive at night for probably 8 to 10 years. Things are narrowing down for me. It's kind of like looking through a tube or goggles.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have a lot of peripheral vision, and it makes just life challenging every day.
Mm-hmm.
It can be very rough. I mean, because you can do things, but then you can't. You're kind of hindered by that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Talk a little bit about the different types of blinding retinal diseases.
Well, there's a lot of different types. In my case, I'm losing my peripheral vision, and I'm keeping my central vision. The central vision will eventually deteriorate, but in my case, the disease is called choroideremia. There's another disease called retinitis pigmentosa, which is actually the first version I was diagnosed with.
Okay.
There are others like macular degeneration and things like that that everybody's aware of, and we're working on trying to find research and cures for that. But it can start in the middle and work out. It can start on the outside and work in. You can have holes in your vision. There's just many different flavors of this thing.
And you said you were misdiagnosed
Mm-hmm.
several years ago.
That's correct.
I guess how far have we come in that area, or have we?
Well, back in the 90s when they were doing the human genome studies and mapping everything, that's kind of when the breakthrough started coming through. In my case, I actually have had genetic testing where they identified one bad gene caused the whole thing. Mm-hmm. And for other people, they've identified the multiple genes that cause their conditions too. So they've narrowed it down. They know what the causes are. It's just a matter of finding a way of fixing those errors.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And then a walk next in a couple of weeks is going to help with those efforts. Can you discuss a little bit about that?
This is our 9th walk for Fort Wayne. We've raised roughly $540,000 in 8 years. Currently this year we've raised roughly $34,000, so we're on our way. This is our way of allowing those affected, the families, community leaders, medical folks, everybody to participate in trying to accelerate this, because what we're finding is, like I said, the cures are in people's minds. They know how to get there. They just need the money and to accelerate the time. Mm-hmm. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to speed up the clock and make that possible for most people.
And real quick about the money, it says last year the walk raised about $62,000. Mm-hmm. What's your goal for this year?
This year is $55,000. I believe that's the same goal we had last year. So we always like to exceed our goal rather than fall short.
Absolutely.
So it's always a good time. I mean, raising money, people don't like to do that, and but you'll find out that the door opens for you pretty quickly once you get out there. So.
And it's definitely for a good cause.
It is.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for coming in. Really appreciate it.
No, thank you.
The Vision Walk is June 13th at Headwaters Park. Registration starts at 8:30 a.m. The walk starts at 10 a.m. I am honored to be asked to be the MC. I'm really looking forward to it. To sign up or learn more about the walk, just head to the website on your screen.